morning, Muscatine. Look at that. I was actually ready. I wasn't laughing. Nice and calm, chill. Doesn't happen very often, does it? Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right? It's still Tuesday. One quick housekeeping thing for you. Don't forget to stop down to Kent Stein tonight, 7 o'clock for the girls' softball game. It's the last game. If they win this, they go to state. That's all you need to know. Just, they're a great team to watch. Absolutely fun, exciting, aggressive, great team, fun to watch. Go down. I think it's like $5-6 to get in. Go do it. Best thing you can do. Take a lawn chair too. So with that, I've actually got a whole crew with me here today from MPW, and we're going to talk about the educational outreach program. And first thing we'll do is have you guys introduce yourselves, if you would, and a little bit of what you do at MPW, and then we'll dive into all the fun stuff.
Okay. So I'm Dylan Lake. I work for Muscatine Power Water. I'm a systems administrator, and we work on make sure the internet's stable around the town. And we just recently did a speed increase across everybody that has internet with us right now. So
that's awesome, by the way.
My name is Greg Slonka. I'm a planning engineer at Muscatine Power and Water. My primary duties are transmission planning, and then I also work very closely on the MPW Solar One project or the Community Solar Project.
Hi, my name is Jessica Howard, and I am MPW's teacher extern this year. That means that I am a teacher during the school year, and by summer I am at MPW helping out with any projects they may need.
Awesome. And I'm Kirby Phillips. I am the manager of human resources. My job is all things people and employees, and they're the best things out there. So I'm happy to bring these guys with me today and explain a little bit more about our outreach efforts, Chris.
So, and this is the great thing that I love about what you guys at MPW do, and this kind of goes all across the board, but you guys have like core concepts of who you are, and you just let it like flow out to everything. Like it doesn't just go to the wires and the plugins and whatever. When it comes to like serving the community, it's things like the outreach program, or like I think back to COVID, like when you guys were making sure that every kid had internet at home, and you know what I mean? Like you just kind of, because you're local, because you're here, you just make it all happen for what the community needs, which is tremendous. And this is kind of an outgrowth of all of that.
Right.
So could you kind of give us a quick overview of what the educational outreach program is like overall, and then we'll kind of roll into like some of the cool stuff, like there's some STEAM and STEM stuff.
Awesome, yeah. So like how did we get here, right?
Yeah.
So we've had a ton of educators in the past really reach out to us about, can we have a tour? Can we have someone come in and speak to our class? And we love the community, as you were saying earlier, and it means a lot to us to be asked for those things, but we don't want to take anyone's time. We want to have a concentrated effort, and we want to get our subject matter experts and our really cool people like these guys out there into the classrooms and really show what their passion is and increase the education, increase the learning in those systems. We were blessed to have, Southeast Iowa STEM Teacher of the Year, Jessica, to be our extern for 2 years now. So we really embraced her passion for things and her teaching in the system, and really had her tasked with how are we going to funnel these requests? How do we meet the standards that the teachers want us to meet? And then how do we also bring our subject matter experts to them and really show the awesome things that they get to do? So Jessica, I'll let you talk a little bit about how that came about.
Thank you so much. She says such nice things about me, makes me turn red instantly.
That happens a lot on this show.
Does it? Okay, good.
It does.
I'm not the only one. All right, good. So when Kirby approached me about coming back this summer, I was all in. I loved being at MPW last summer, and I was really passionate about how well MPW, even though I don't teach here in Muscatine, I teach in Lone Tree, but they were always asking, what can we do to help your classroom? Can we get there? They came and supported my classroom multiple times. I sent kids to MPW from Lone Tree to go on job shadows, and just had a really great working relationship with them. And I know how amazing that made my classroom experience for my kids, for my administrators, for fellow teachers to see that MPW supports me specifically as well as our students like that. And so when Kirby was like, hey, we really want you to work on this outreach program, and I was like, absolutely, this is what I'm passionate about. I really want kids to be ready for the future jobs that are going to be out there and what's going to be available for them in the future. So working with the amazing people at MPW, Dylan blasted it out of the park when we went to Spark last week. Greg has the most amazing ideas to really get kids passionate and interested in things like wind energy and solar. To showcase how amazing all the people at MPW are is really just like a passion project, and was something that I felt like I wanted to be a part of. I wanted my mark on that as well. And so meeting with 1 million people at MPW, asking them thousands of questions, and
1 million.
Literally 1 million.
That is actually little personal experience here, because I'm not MPW, but I work with them really closely. So is it just me, or when they do something, there's always like 100 people there to help and work on it?
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
They never shortchange any, like, usually be like a couple of us go out and then there's like 10 of them, and I'm like, whoa. Yeah, is that how it felt for you? Yeah.
I would set up one meeting and there'd be 4 people there. I'm like, yes, these are all the people I need. I need to talk to every single one of you and get all of your great ideas. Let me showcase how amazing you guys are and do whatever I can to bring my expertise with like standards and education and how all those work. And I'm by no means perfect at it. I'm still learning and growing every day, and MPW definitely helps me learn and grow in that process as well.
Well, and what I like about a couple of the things you mentioned there is kind of that workforce development concept. Like, we all know that Muscatine needs people. It's why we just created the new jobs board and all this other stuff. So like, we need people, and we need them skilled. We need them, like, especially in the STEAM arena. You've got to find ways to get kids excited, get them through the educational funnel, and then get them to either stay in Muscatine or come to Muscatine, right? And what I love is you guys being there individually helps them make connections that will make that happen, right? So that's just amazing. And it's stuff that you guys might not think about as you do it, like you're just like, oh, I'm talking about, keeping the internet running, but in reality, it's part of the bigger picture that Muscatine is trying to solve. So that's a huge connection there. So you go hang out with kids at the schools, right? What does that look like? Like, what are the activities, curriculum kind of stuff that you guys actually do when you get in with the kids?
Dylan, do you want to talk about your amazing project you did?
Yeah. So some of the challenges of educating on complex subjects for such a young crowd is, they're third graders, so, the internet's kind of complicated things, a lot of moving parts, it's more than just plugging stuff in. So
it is.
One of the challenges, a lot of stuff that works in the background, and it's kind of interesting because some of the stuff, we're constantly upgrading our speeds. So right now the next jump is from 1 gig to 10. So I'm still learning some of that stuff myself, just the new technologies.
You don't just put more gas in.
Yeah,
just
just bigger tube,
just
more
bigger
internet.
tube, bigger pipe. Yeah.
But we got to get in the classroom, talk on their level, so in their language, and keep it interesting and accessible. So if I go in there talking about IPs and all these numbers, we're focusing just on the physical connectivity and the costs involved, and we can connect everything literally with a wire to everything else, but what's the practicality of maybe we don't need to connect everything that in depth. So we did a short exercise where we had a classroom full of students, and they all operated as like a computer or computing device. And we had some challenges of how do we use the fewest number of connections to get everybody to talk to each other. And then we had some scenarios of maybe a line gets cut. How do you still have connectivity despite having the potential for lines going down with redundancy? And
So
stuff like
you're
that.
going into like Spoken Hub, daisy chainy kind of stuff,
Yeah.
without necessarily probably telling them that's what you were doing.
And it was
right?
interesting too, because you would kind of give them the challenge, and then also, hey, we're going to connect everybody together. But then the challenge, how do we reduce the number of wires we have connecting everybody together?
Yeah.
And without even explaining what a switch or a hub is, some of the tables turn into a ring, which is kind of how we do our internet around town here.
Yep.
And some of them had a dedicated hub that everybody else connected through, and they relayed through that. And then after the fact, it's like, okay, so you guys made these networks. here I can translate to a real world example of exactly what you guys just made with
Yep.
the same constraints, and that was
Oh,
really
like I'm
interesting.
getting goosebumps. Like, okay, I'm a computer nerd, right? Like, so like that is, because you're absolutely right. Like I've tried to explain like DNS and IP addresses to people, and like you use examples like it's kind of like a phone book, and they go look at the phone book, and that tells it where to go, but you still don't get it. But that's an absolutely amazing hands-on way of getting them to get that concept, because that'll stick with them.
Yeah, and it's something, you know, when I was going to school, you know, what do I want to major in? You know, I love the idea of being a teacher was really great, but you know, I wanted to be more into like the technology and actually putting this stuff together. So it was really nice to have that opportunity to kind of stand out and like kind of see what that's like. It was a lot more fun than at first it's a bit of a challenge. You're kind of nervous, want to, you know, get in front of a bunch of kids. They're going to make fun of me or whatever. But nah, it was great. Everybody had a good time.
They really don't. Like I've done more of that than I ever thought I would.
Yeah.
The kids are they're like way nicer than we were as kids.
They're
Like
just-
I don't know what it is, but they're just like excited that people are there and like.
They're just curious. They want their questions to be
Yeah.
answered, and I'm very happy to be one of the people that can stand in front of them and give them the answers that they're looking for. You know, we only have so much time, but it'd be great to do it again sometime too.
Yeah.
So, but I'm certainly not the only subject that was kind of gone over.
What
We
was
had some other
what was
departments,
another
too.
fun one? Greg, did you?
Sure, I can jump in. So Jessica enabled an experience with myself in the 4th grade class to do a Lego Spark Day. And so that really featured some elements of design, some signal processing, things of that nature to really get these
Wait, how
Lego
do
creations
Legos-
off the ground.
Oh, wait, how do you get from Legos to signal processing?
So
There's
yeah,
got to be something else there, right?
so there is. And part of this, we didn't even, MPW didn't bring this to the table. We helped them connect those elements of their, designs together. But there's these Lego Spark kits, and what they do is they have this computer-guided program that shows them how to build, different creations, and then they
Wait,
can.
these are like powered connectable Legos.
Absolutely. Yep.
I
Pretty
did
cool.
not know
I didn't
that.
have
Okay,
these-
so
I didn't
now,
have these as a
now I
kid.
feel like a butthead
Yeah, I
because
did
I'm
not
like,
have
how
those
do you
as a
get
kid.
from Legos to?
Yeah, so
Okay,
it
Legos got
actually
one.
came with the kit, and the kids knew exactly what to do. They open up the
Of course they
computers. They're running signal processing to their devices. They're having them.
Right.
They're having cars run across the floor. They're having windmill turbines swing around. They're having. They
That's
even built a
awesome.
helicopter. I wanted to see it fly, but they couldn't quite get that build done in time. But so that was the event that we've done so far. It was a good opportunity to, like I said, incorporate design elements.
Does that get into a little coding then too?
Yeah, a little bit of coding. I
Yeah,
think
like basic.
yeah,
like
so they
surface
had to.
level.
I watched what they did. They had to set up like a sequence of operations
Gotcha.
and basically send it to the device and have it.
Right, so it's more like the logic level
Yeah.
functions. Well, that's
And they did
that's
a
where
great
you
job.
start.
And for
right?
4th grade, I was pretty impressed. They did a really good job.
Awesome.
And so we have another unit coming up for the 6th graders where we're going to be focusing on wind energy. And so from MPW, our hope is to basically present them real life models that represent how wind energy comes into the actual grid and what kind of benefits and what kind of risks and rewards does renewability actually feature. Because here at MPW, we've had coal-fired generation for so long that bringing renewables into the mix, it has its challenges. And so that's what we want to talk about with that class.
And it's, the thing that I've always admired about the way you guys operate, and especially look at like the renewables, is you guys look so far into the future in your planning that, you don't knee-jerk reaction to anything. You just kind of like, okay, here's how it works. What's an intermediate step? And you know what I mean? And like, I honestly think you're probably the most thoughtful organization that I see consistently. You know what I mean? Like some are thoughtful on one thing, but like across the board, it's part of your culture. And planning for wind is that exact thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm a planning engineer at MPW, so part of what you're talking about is part of my life, and we do look out 10 years into the future. I mean, that's every day we're doing modeling out 5-10 years to kind of evaluate things that could
We look
come.
like 10 minutes. Like, what's the next live thing we got to do? Yeah, awesome. So like maybe that's why I admire it so much because, but so I have a note about energy to mac and cheese. Now that screams that's all my kid eats. Well, not all, but close.
Right.
I assume this is some sort of cool thing that like shows them how it gets from like wind to their tummy. Is that?
Oh, okay. So
Was that what it was?
I don't-
I don't know.
Yeah, Jessica.
Yeah, yeah.
So I met with Jim Garrison, an amazing human who had this great idea talking about how to get this concept down. So we sat in a meeting and he's like, really, this is what they understand mac and cheese. Let's explain mac and cheese to them using energy. So he talked me through all of his plans and what he thought and his big ideas, and I turned it into hopefully a usable lesson that takes the whole process. We go from coal on a train to coal at our plant, to steam energy, to heat, to your house, to literally making mac and cheese. And the demo in the classroom at the end is that they'll get mac and cheese at the end. So
Has anybody ever, I'm probably going to get shot for this by several people, including my neighbor. But have you ever thought about, as part of that, going out to like the plant and making mac and cheese like using the heat off that out in the plant, like mac and cheese, like just a quick little lunch oven?
I think we would have to talk to the safety manager.
Yeah,
but-
Jim, who's also our safety
Yes.
manager, might frown on that. He is my cohort
See,
in
again, there's that
crime,
safety
so-
thing. Like, see, I would just
Yeah.
go do it. I don't think first. I would just go do it. Like, give me a bowl or give me a pan and some water and I'm good. Give me a box. Let's go.
I would say maybe,
Point
we'd have
of
to
view.
review it first. So I'll give you a maybe. How about that?
So, and then Mr. Sparky. What's Mr. Sparky?
Mr. Sparky is also a demo that we've done for a long time. It's an event that we take to even community events and really showing kind of that relay of current and what can happen and what can go wrong with Mr. Sparky if he gets too close to items. So yeah, it's yes. It's also learning. You have to learn also what could go wrong.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. And that's, so we covered, MPW has like the 3 main lanes of communication, power, and water. We haven't talked about water at all, but do you have any, and I know that's not like you guys' lane per se, but do you have any like water testing kind of stuff or anything fun along that line?
Yeah, absolutely. So we just went with the water department also to Spark for first grade. One of the most adorable experiences of my entire life. Our water department does a great job. Mr. Aaron just really translates his content well, and he's so passionate about water. And so we went to talk about water with first graders, and they asked a million questions. They were so interested. They're really interested in the water tower. But they did water testing from the fire hydrant out in front of the school, and they learned about the chemicals, they learned about what we test for, and then they also got to run through the fire hydrant, which was the highlight of their day. And a couple of the teachers' cars got washed, and it was absolutely a memory that they're going to have for the rest of their lives, that, hey, MPW came and we got to run through the fire hydrant during the school day and have tons of fun. So
The other thing you should add to that, because my son loved it, and honestly I did too, was at Customer Appreciation Day last year, they had a water main that was broken, and they like put the sleeve, like the kid gets to, like they charge it up with water, and it's got a leak in it. It's like spraying water. The kid has to, like, in the middle of the water, has to like get this huge sleeve over and like use the impact driver to like boom boom put them down, and like that's Wyatt loved it. He thought he was just like, I don't know if it was the water or the fact that he fixed something, but I don't know. So obviously this is all great and you guys have it available. The biggest step next is like, how do we make sure educators have access to this, right?
Right.
So what does that process look like? Like if I want him to come in and talk about all the internet stuff, like what does an educator do? Do they, like, what's that look like?
Yeah, actually, you want to talk about the bags for
Yeah,
like
I
the
can.
new teachers?
Yeah, so I worked with our HR team to make swag bags for all the new teachers in Muscatine. Anybody that's coming into the Muscatine Community School District will get a bag, the cool ones from CAD last year that have the beautiful bridge painted on them from the water tower. And inside there will be different items, of course, to help you get your school year started. A water bottle, some items that make your classroom a little bit more comfy, and then you'll also get a card or an information piece that tells you about all these lessons that have been created from MPW. And at the bottom, there's an email address to just email out to get scheduled or to get more information, and it's learningwithmpw@mpw.org.
Okay, so quick recap, because there was a ton, but like good stuff. So obviously, as part of what you guys do at MPW, taking care of the community is a big portion of it, and getting these guys out, not just guys, gals, but getting the team out in front of kids, building that relationship as well as getting them excited about STEAM, STEM kind of stuff. You guys do tons of cool stuff. So I keep wanting to go back to this how the internet works thing because like I'm amazed. Here's a question for you. This one's totally off. Holly, plug your ears. What is, if you could give somebody at home right now that has MPW or whatever, if you could give them like 1 or 2 pieces of info that's like, I wish everybody knew this, what would it be? And I know, and take a minute to think if you want, because I know it's totally off the...
So I first started on MPW in the help desk, so I see a lot of these calls coming in firsthand. Probably the easiest, the simplest thing I can explain right now is that, you know, it's not really an issue these days now that we've got a gigabit speed and, you know, higher bandwidth and stuff. But a lot of times, you know, in the past we used to have like 40 megabits, and then we'd have maybe like 10 megabits up. You know, so your download and your upload makes a difference. You can max out your upload without maxing out your download, and that'll affect your download too. So a lot of times I get a call, hey, my internet's being kind of wonky. I would look at their download, fine, but your upload maxing out, so any requests you make out to the internet take forever to get out. And then it was easy enough to upgrade the speed, problem solved.
And that's, you know, the one thing, you know, because we move a lot of video back and forth, so obviously we have huge bandwidth needs, right? Unless we want to sit around for hours and hours and hours and wait for something to go. But that's absolutely right. Like people often think like, oh, I'm sitting here, I'm just downloading. Well, everything that you do has got an upload function to it because you've got to push it out there. And like, you know, everybody talks about download. You know, it's kind of like that 5G versus gigabit speed. Like 5G wireless isn't gigabit. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds bigger.
Yeah, and another thing too that happens a lot too is we'll get a customer is like, hey, I pay for a gig and my download's only coming at like 100 meg. Well, on your end you've got a gigabit link up to the internet, but whoever's sending you this file on their side, maybe they don't have that speed, and you're only going to be able to get it as fast as they give it. And then on the Wi-Fi part, you know, you again might have a gig connection to your house, but Wi-Fi, depending on the age of your devices, generally is only going to get about 300 megabits. So, you know, collectively, you can spread that over multiple devices and get that gig, but any individual device may not be able to actually handle a gig yet. Right,
and that's, you know, the one other thing that I always, when we do this is, as much as I hate wired's better, right? It's more reliable, it's more, so if you can wire, if it makes sense, if it's permanent. And just remember, Wi-Fi is slower, it just is. Right?
Yeah, it's more convenient though.
It is, it's way more convenient. But just like, I was just thinking like, as you're thinking about this stuff, like if you're a gamer, wire it. You know what I mean? If you're worried about ping and you're worried about everything else, wire it.
Well, even, you know, if you've got a wireless connectivity, you know, to your console or something, you know, somebody, you know, you've got a microwave in the kitchen halfway between the downstairs router and the upstairs where the console is, you know, somebody turns that microwave on, that interference is going to potentially affect your connection, where a wired connection is not going to have an issue. You know,
interesting, the other thing that does it is wireless microphones.
There you go. Not something I deal with very often, but yeah.
I learned that one the hard way. So, again, if any teachers out there, educators want to be a part of this, learning with MPW at mpw.org.
You got it.
Call out, just dial the 263-2631, get a human, and just tell them what you want, they'll find it.
And I'd like to thank Jessica too, because, you know, some of the challenges of, you know, how do you fit all this information into such a short amount of time, and then kind of get it into a realm where, you know, the young can understand this stuff and pick it up. You know, most of the legwork was done, you know, when I was first approached, I'm like, infinite possibility. What can we talk about? What do we want to demonstrate? You know, she did probably 90% of the work. Just, you know, here's the structure. Here's how much time you have. Here's some suggested activities that we can do, and we kind of tweaked that a little bit to make it work. But, you know, by the time I was into the picture, like, you know, most of it was already, all the heavy lifting was already done. So that's kind of.
So you just get to be the talent. You just get to walk in, take all the glory, and run, right?
Yeah, I love it. You know, it's already made up, set up, ready to go.
Absolutely.
Right. So. Anybody else have anything for the good of the order?
I think just that we have some really passionate employees, and we love the community that we live in, and we really want to share this with them, and we want to meet their needs. So learning with MPW at mpw.org is truly a resource, and we will funnel your request to the right person and get some pretty amazing MPW employees out to create an event or, you know, do some sort of classroom exercise with you.
Ooh, so. Can I have him come down here and just play with us?
No problem.
Can we do that? I
Yep,
did.
yep.
I would like to learn about internet, please.
Definitely. Kind of a takeaway for me is, kind of a joke, I guess, but E equals MC squared now has a new definition for me. E equals mac and cheese squared.
On that note, folks, I think that's enough for us today. We will see you in the morning. Don't forget to. Woo! Don't forget that. Yeah, I'm just picturing sticking an open circuit into mac and cheese. And, we'll be right back with some Fruitland Fire, Barbecue, and Blues. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
Looking for a fun-filled summer? Look no further than the Muscatine County Fair. Get ready for heart-pounding rides, mouth-watering food, and unforgettable memories. From Ferris wheels to tractor pulls and concerts, there's something for everyone. The Muscatine County Fair is where memories are made, laughter is shared, and fun fills the country air. Join us from July 19th through the 23rd and experience the best summer has to offer. Get your Fun Pass and concert tickets now at muscatinecountyfair.com.
From a clogged toilet to a complete sewer line replacement, Rivo is a modern plumbing company designed to respond quickly to all shapes and sizes of plumbing needs. Bringing in our heavy equipment to replace cracked gas lines or designing clever piping systems for new construction plumbing, a family-owned company that's reliably honest and remarkably affordable. Right here in Muscatine, all day long, every day of the week. Rivo Incorporated, skill, knowledge, and tools to solve the messiest problems.
You know Rivo as expert plumbers, but did you know Rivo can also be your one source for complete bathroom and kitchen remodels? With professional craftsmen doing the job for more than 30 years, experienced in tile, carpentry, and of course plumbing, Rivo can transform a dreary basement into an elegant bathroom and upgrade a worn-out kitchen using inspirational design and quality brands. Before you stand in line at a big box store, call Rivo Incorporated and see how a hometown professional can refresh and improve your home.
Have you heard the littlest things can make the biggest difference? Every day, bigs and littles are connecting in our community. Their time together can look a little different, but the goals and outcomes are the same. Littles are building confidence, forming better relationships, a sense of belonging, and achieving big goals. But there are more kids just like me who are still waiting. Will you join us in making more matches possible? Support Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
We are looking for a zero-turn lawnmower.
At Hustler Turf, quality matters.
Can I test drive that one?
In the store?
Even in the buying experience. We know you want to buy from someone who knows what they're talking about.
We're looking for a zero-turn mower.
Like
Great.
this guy.
First thing you need to know is what's the size of your property? Are there any obstacles?
Head to your local Hustler dealer and talk to a lawnmower expert.
Stop in to Muscatine Lawn and Power at 2020 Stewart Road to see Hustler quality for yourself.
We've all been through a lot together, and along the way you'll find out who really cares for you and who you can trust. Because there's a lot of stuff that happens in life, like those days when the amazing happens, or those days that are really, really hard. That's why you need someone like Unity Point Health. Because when it comes to your health, you gotta have someone you can trust. Unity Point Health. Know how much you matter to this world. Okay, guys, we've been through a lot together. We all know sometimes it gets hard, but it's okay to not feel okay. You know what helps? A good book or going for a walk. Not now, Fred. But what really helps is to talk to someone. Because to take care of each other, you gotta take care of you. If you need to talk to someone, your doctor will listen. Unity Point Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
Rivo, the plumbing experts for Muscatine and
Okay, folks, welcome back. I'm gonna warn you, this is probably about to go off the rails. Okay, just gonna put that out there up front, because we've got Fruitland Fire Department here, Brandon, and so let's do this. One person here I know doesn't really need any introduction probably, but let's introduce you both real quick. And if you would, Brandon, kind of tell people what you do with the Fruitland Fire Department, which is pretty obvious, but just, let's, like you said, let's set the mood, right? And then we want to jump into Blues and BBQ.
All right, I'm Fire Chief Brandon Haynes with the Fruitland Fire Department. We are strictly volunteer fire department down there. We currently looking for volunteers, so if you're willing and able, come on down, get an application. But we're 24/7. We don't man the station, but you call, we'll be there. We also auto aid Muscatine. I don't know if many of you may not know what auto mutual aid is. So if Muscatine has a confirmed structure fire, we come up and we help out Muscatine, especially when they're short staffed, they need that. And it's reciprocated. So anytime that we have a confirmed structure fire, they'll send a guy, one truck, two guys.
Yeah, say
down.
2 trucks, 1 guy.
Yeah, that doesn't work out.
That doesn't work.
Truck driving itself.
I know Summit's a good driver, but I don't think he can do 2 at the same time. Right?
Yeah, that might be a challenge. Might be a thing in the future, though. You never know.
So, as a volunteer fire department, I would assume, and I don't know, where do funds for that come from? Does the city provide some? But then I would assume you guys have to raise money to get some stuff as well, right?
We do. So we're an agency. We're not city funded. They do pay their portion. Plus, they also they chip in a little extra too, and they help us out when we need it. So. As far as equipment goes, I mean, this is why this fundraiser's happening. This is what it's all about.
Well, let's just jump to the fun stuff. Let's talk about the fundraiser, because I mean, you cannot beat what you guys are doing. I don't know that there's a better night of entertainment.
I don't think you're going to see a better lineup in the Quad City area for blues anyway this summer. I just don't think you're going to see it.
So it's the Fruitland Fire Department Blues and BBQ. It's July 15th, right?
Correct.
And it's down North Street.
151 North Street. And that is right behind the fire station. We are the fire station right there. That's 151.
I kind of figured that was it, but I'll be honest, I don't know all the Fruitland streets that well.
Yep. No, we have a little over an acre in the back, grassland, and there's a center strip where they used to have what they call water ball there. Back in the day when other departments were into it, they would do water wars, and we partaked in it a few times, and it's a fun game, but it also, it can be dangerous, so liabilities, and people don't want to do it anymore, so.
Gotcha. And so who do you have with you, as if he needs an introduction?
I don't think he needs an introduction, but this is Ernie Peniston. He's a longtime family friend of mine, and Blues Hall of Famer. He's the real deal, so.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you.
Dude, that is the best answer I've gotten so far today.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that with me if that's all right.
Yeah, I wish you would. I wish everybody would.
So it sounds like you get to MC this thing.
Yeah, I'm MC it. I'm hustling the money for these folks. I do what I need to do, and.
So what's the lineup look like? We've got Matt Fuller Band, John Resch and Dogging Out, Avery, is it Grouse?
A.B. Grouse.
Band?
Yep. A.B. Grouse.
Are these guys Peniston level, or what do we got?
Well, they're ain't nobody like this level. But no, they're great musicians. New to the blues, been around, and I've got in over 50 years of music, so they're not close to where I've been and what I've done.
Right.
And that's all right, because I was there once.
Yep.
A long time ago, so.
Well, what I love is you guys have got, this is like an all-day thing. This isn't just a quick little 2-hour, 3 little set thing. You guys are going from noon to 9.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, and Brandon's
and
got
even
so
before
many things. He's got so many things going on besides music.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got water slide for the kids, so they can come down and enjoy that, while the parents are enjoying some music. We've got a sweet corn eating competition, so it's in season.
So what you can do, folks, so this is July 15th, so it's this Saturday, right?
Yep.
The fair, the Muscatine County Fair, has a sweet corn eating contest. I think it's Friday. Don't quote me on that.
So you can prep.
You prep, right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what, we could have like a sweet corn eating series. And like you guys could lead it off. We could do it at the fair, maybe find one more, maybe at like one of the Almost Friday Fests.
There you go.
And we could crown like a champion at the end of the summer.
Okay.
What are you giving out?
I can just see him going like, man, that's not a good idea.
I'll go along with it. But no, it's going to be a great event. I think did one, a couple years ago?
Did one in 21. How this all started was, get a little emotional here, but
Dad.
Pops, he was into doing rib competition for Fruitland Fun Days, and the guys came to me in 2020, and they said, "Hey, in honor of your dad, would you willing to put on a rib competition?" And
what's a rib competition?
So basically, we're going to take St. Louis style ribs, and they're going to smoke them off, and we've got 5 judges. Judge who's the best and award the trophies. So
how do I get that job? That's the job I want.
There might be one open.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
if you would be interested.
And I've got a little experience. I got to do Almost Festival. It was what did they call it? Brenda and Chris did a Almost Mardi Gras Festival.
Oh, okay.
So I got to judge. That was fun. Yeah, just saying, I might leave my card on the table for you.
Well, you
might be welcome.
I just had somebody back out, so they got ball this weekend with their boys. So, yeah, that actually works out.
So this all sort of started there, right?
Yep.
And what is the ultimate goal for this year, right? Like,
So, 2021. We raised $9,000 to go towards equipment, and at that time we were purchasing air packs. The thing with air packs, they're very expensive.
What's an air pack?
It's an SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus. So that's the tank that you see on the back of firefighters.
So it's like scuba for firefighters,
more or less, yes.
Yeah. For those of us in the conversation,
yes.
like me.
Yes. So. The Scott X3s, they're really nice unit, but they're very pricey. So in order to outfit several firefighters with them, or several trucks, I should say, it's very, very costly. A lot of times you apply for grants, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. And when you get a grant, the only issue with that is you buy all the equipment at one time, and then guess what? It all expires at the same time too.
Right.
So,
yeah.
To be compliant when NFPA standards, we need to be ahead of the game, putting money into account for purchasing of these. So this year, I mean, we're really pushing to get a new brush truck. We used to have 2. We took the '78 Chevy out of our lineup a couple years ago.
Hey, now be careful. That's a great. I'm 79.
It was a great truck.
Here, so wait.
It was a great truck. I'll tell you what.
And what's a brush truck?
Brush trucks for brush fires, grass fires.
Oh, gotcha.
Something that you can drive a little off road.
Gotcha.
And reach out there.
So what does this look like? So somebody heads down to Fruitland. You turn left at the big watermelon-ish.
Yeah, at Merritt's Market there, you take a left, Shell Station right there.
Yep.
Go all the way down to you hit a stop sign. That takes you in front of Drake Park. You take a left. You go over the railroad tracks as long as there's not a train there.
Yeah, if there's a train, don't go over the tracks.
I would probably just go back to Muscatine and come back around down Stewart. I mean, sometimes they sit there for 45 minutes to an hour. So anyway, then you'll see the fire station on the right. It's right on the corner of North and San Juan. Also, the city of Fruitland has been gracious enough to block out the community center, so There'll be ample parking. You can park at City Hall. You can park in the grass area behind the station. I'll have set aside for that as well.
Awesome. So then, how do they help contribute to this? So like, are you buying a plate? Like, how does that all work?
No, so it's free entry. You come in. We're gonna have a beer tent, so there's one way you can contribute. Just don't drink and drive, please. Also, we have 50/50s, one every 2 hours on the hour. So that'll start at noon. Then we'll have one at 2, 4, and 6, and we'll announce the last one at 8 o'clock. Then we also have several raffles going on. We got 3 big ticket items that we're selling tickets for. I don't have those with me to show you guys right now, but we have ones for guns. We got a couple Glocks, 9mm that are his and hers package, and then you got a choice of that if you win, or the Savage 110, which is chambered in a 350 Legend. So that also comes with a scope on it, so set up for deer season. There's the guns. Then we also have a pellet smoker, so got to have that with the blues and barbecue theme here. We've got a Louisiana 1000 Black Series that we got from Midwest Grilling and Supply down there.
Yep.
So that's a great place to go if you're looking for anything
if you
grilling
need anything
related.
grilling, call the Chamberlains.
Yeah,
like
they've
that's just
got it.
what it is.
They've got it.
They've got it.
So those are some of our big ticket items. I also have, for you Cardinals fans out there, we have a Marty
Are there
Pass.
any of those out there?
I think there is. My mom is. Several of my family is. I'm a Cubs fan personally, but we reached out to both Cubs and the Cardinals, and the Cardinals responded and gave us the Marty Pass. So we will have that to raffle off. And a few other items, smaller items. So
here's the big question. How do you get the barbecue?
Well,
do you?
So we'll have vendors. We'll have vendors down there. We've got Rick's Ribs, which is local here.
Mm-hmm.
You can find him every day down there at headquarters and Rick's Restaurant. And we also have, for vendor-wise, we have Wildwood Smokehouse and Saloon there right off of I-80 there.
Yep.
So they're going to be a vendor, and also they're going to compete in the rib competition as well. So that ought to be fun.
I can't wait to be a judge.
I was just gonna say, like,
and these guys smoking. If you go around, they're going to give you some tasters. You know,
So-
that's how they're going to go for the People's Choice.
Right.
They got to give out some taste testing samples here.
So how many groups do you think will be there competing?
So I've got 8 or 9 signed up right now.
That
So
sounds delicious.
yeah.
It sure does, don't it?
Can we just do it today? Let's just
Right.
skip. Let's
Right.
forget Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We don't need them. Just go
Yep.
Saturday. So, kind of to put this all in like one quick capsule for everybody, we've got the Fruitland Fire Department doing a fundraiser to help with expensive equipment, basically scuba gear. Let's just call it that for those that are like me, right?
SCBA and our
me.
brush truck.
And
That's
a brush
probably
truck.
what this is going to go for.
And show up down there. It's running all day from like noon to 9, right? But
You'll be smelling some stuff early in the morning. 'Cause
Yeah, I'm sure.
These guys will be. I mean, it's 4 to 6 hours smoke on these ribs, so
Yeah.
you'll be smelling this at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So then it's at basically at the Fruitland Fire Department, kind of right there behind
Yep.
it. Pull in, park at City Hall, park at the community center, anywhere you can find down there. Bring a lawn chair.
Yeah, bring your lawn chairs, definitely, most definitely.
And then
And if you got an easy up tent, we'll allow that too.
Oh,
I mean,
geez,
just
that
try
is
not to
good.
block people's view
Yeah.
of the stage and whatnot.
So Mr. Penniston, you're going to lead us through a day of blues, right?
Yes, I am.
What should we look forward to on that? Like, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to it because I just released my latest CD in 2021, so I have CDs for sale down there. Plus, I'll be singing some songs off.
Oh, you're not just MC. You're actually.
I'm doing it all.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
there
doing it.
I'm just there for everything.
Gotcha.
Anything that helps out, I'm there.
Awesome.
You know, so it's going to be a pleasure of mine. Introducing the bands, make sure they get their sound checks in, just make sure everything's working right, so they don't have to worry about it because they got enough on their plate.
Yeah, they got water slides.
Yeah, and sweet corn.
And sweet corn.
And bags tournament too. We didn't
Bags
mention
tournament,
that.
Yeah.
So
Do you know we have a professional bags thrower here in town?
Oh, I believe it. So
Out of United Rentals.
Pearl City Bags Club. They're putting on the cornhole competition down there, and we're gonna put them as close to the beer tent as possible.
Makes sense,
doesn't it?
And
we don't want them to have to go away from the game too long.
Yeah, and bags anymore is so serious. I mean, you're seeing it on ESPN.
I know.
And like that, I said, okay,
all right,
this is serious.
Next thing you know, Bocce will be there, and you know.
I don't know about that. But
There's a new one out. It's called, well, it's not new, but a Cub or something, like with like the wood posts, and it looks really cool. I don't know.
But it's going to be a great time Saturday, and hopefully we make a lot of money for the Fruitland Fire Department, because that's what it's all about, you know.
Yeah, so go down for lunch, sit around, have a couple beers, have some dinner, have a nightcap, call it a day, right?
Pretty much.
yeah, this I'll tell you what, the two of the different bands. So Matt Fuller, exceptionally well on the guitar. That guy can wail. He is one of the best I've seen for his age. He's probably one of like the best I've seen. And then you got Chris Avey. He's also exceptionally well, and I would just like to see both of them just battle it out. You know, that would be kind of good.
It's that kind of day, you know.
You never know what happens. You never know
I'll
what
bet
happens.
you know the guy in charge. Maybe you just have him set it up. Like, oh, hey, here's what's going on now, guys.
Anything's possible. Well, and I believe Matt has done some work with them, hasn't he? The AV Ground?
Yeah. So lately he has been, I don't know if it's been opening up for them or sitting in. I'm not sure. Yeah. But I know he is close with AV Grouse and also John Resch. So he is in John Resch Dogging Out. So he's got his own band, Matt Fuller does, and then he's got John Resch and Dogging Out. So.
And I've known John ever since I moved back from Minneapolis and got involved in Mississippi Valley Blues Fest. So he's been around for a while himself. So he's very well seasoned to play.
He is. He's great.
Yeah. Sounds like you guys have got it under control.
We like to think we do.
There's only one way to find out, right?
That's right. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go and see what happens, right?
That's right. That's
well,
right.
guys, thank you for coming in. Thank you for doing all this. Thank you for volunteering. Ernie, thank you for lending your talents to help them out. I think I don't know how it can't be a great day. Like, just looking at the lineup, like the food, the music, it's got to be a good day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be great.
Check out, like, watch around town.
Oh, Chris, I also have
seen these. That's like
I got Stan's ice cream coming down.
Oh,
We've
really?
got Hawaiian Summer Breeze. They're the Hawaiian shaped ice. They're coming. So I mean,
holy cow, you gotta go.
I might need a nap.
Please, somebody sees Ernie up there. Just,
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Wake him up when it's time to go.
I think on that note, I think we're done. We're done, guys. Thank you for stopping in.
Thanks for having us on, Chris.
And I'm sure we'll probably see you guys on Saturday. So
yeah, come on down.
Oh, I'm sure.
He was serious when he said we need a judge now.
We do.
We might have to do that. So don't forget to stop down to Kent Stein tonight for girls softball, and we will see you tomorrow in Muscatine. Have a great day.